morning, everyone, and welcome to Talking Horses. My good friend Anthony Stabile. I'm Andy Serling. And this would be the normal opening day, is basically the previous 6 days are the days we stopped running on Mondays. So it's a new opening day. It's a new meet. It's a new meet starting day number 7.
I'm on board with that.
A good meet. I got to say right away, though, I have a bone to pick with you. It cost me $500 to get your friend Phil to come up here to try to get you out of that funk. So I think the least you could do is like.
He surprised me this morning. He surprised me this morning.
It's because I sent him a boatload of cash to come up here. Somebody had to cheer you up. It was getting embarrassing over here. It was good to see Phil.
Always good.
Lovely man.
Yes.
Anyhow, head over to Naira Bets if you're not a member of Naira Bets.
He's going to come looking for that nickel, just so you know.
I already gave it to him. What do you think? I'm kidding? Oh, he didn't tell you?
Not yet.
Anyway. Use the promo code KeepAnthonyEmployed 200.
Please.
Toga 200. We will match the $200 of your initial deposit. Play through Naira Bets. Keep the money in the game. Naira Bets. Bet any track, anywhere, anytime through Naira Bets. We have, what do we have? 10 times points. Del Mar opening day today. They got a terrific card there. You can play that a little bit later. Excited for them. Always looking to see them do well out in California. And Del Mar opens today. They're running a week later, actually, than normal. So there'll be action for them when we leave here in case you're looking for something to do. And the Pacific Classic is Labor Day weekend this year.
Oh, wow.
Wish them a wonderful opening day. Know that I've never been, but here it's a great way to spend your day. What else do we have? We have Saratoga Contest, $300 buy-in. You have until 5 o'clock today to sign up. Cash and seat prizes go to naira.com/contest. We also have the Triple Play. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, special pick 3. Do you know offhand which races it is today?
I don't, actually.
You're kind of supposed to know that, aren't you, Anthony? I mean, I know Phil just got here and you're a little thrown off your game, but okay, check that out. Naira.com/triple play. We also have
7, 9, 10.
7, 9, 10. 1 p.m. to 6:30 Eastern Time, Saratoga Live on FS2, featuring the Lake George. Race number 1 at 5.5 furlongs on the turf.
And here it is. Joseph O'Brien.
Well, this is an unusual horse that's running here, and I'm going to say it's possible that any horse won't show up. It's possible something will go wrong in the race. It's possible the Breeders' Cup turf sprint winner is in here. But I would say he better be, because Alexis Zorba, who we'll take a look at last time, and you'll see him in those Peter Brandt silks coming over here. This is unusual. Now, Joseph O'Brien has a couple of horses in throughout the weekend. They're not like this horse. And this horse didn't get second by default. He was actually the speed, and he got run down. The horse who beat him last time, Little Big Bear, subsequently won the 24-horse field Windsor Castle at Ascot, and then he won a Group 3 at the Curragh. The horse who beat him first time when he finished second, beat a length and a half, is now 4 for 6. He won a Group 2 at Chantilly on Sunday. He was second in a Group 2 at the Curragh. He won a Group 3 at the Curragh. He was 4th in a Group 2 at Ascot. The horses that beat him are both, well, I mean, it's early, but they're both fairly high on the early board for next year's Guineas. So you've got a horse coming over here for Joseph O'Brien that is, in all likelihood, in a different league than the others. He's 9-2 now. My guess is he'll be odds on. Now listen, Dancing Brave didn't ship and didn't run well. I can't imagine, though, Joseph O'Brien shipped this horse and entered him if he's not doing well. And if he shows up with the kind of races he ran in Europe, it's highly unlikely this field is not in serious trouble.
Okay. Surprised I didn't see a work for this horse.
I'm sure the horse is doing fine or they wouldn't have entered. This horse ran against not the usual type.
I thought he had to have a work, is what I was trying to say.
Well, that's not my job.
I guess not.
He's running, so I imagine he's fine.
Yeah.
You've put him second.
Yeah, I just took one shot with the Chad Brown, Tattersalls, Son of Kodiak, Dan was 2 for 12. They've had a lot of success with the horses that they've brought over from Europe. I feel like this Joseph O'Brien horse is going to get bet off. I know it's 85 minutes to post.
I understand. This is an unusual horse.
Yeah.
If you want to take a shot with the 6, that's fine.
Yeah. But it's a shot.
The number 2, Wicco, tad slow start. Stop with the tad slow. Stop with the brutal trip. Just say slow. This horse didn't break a tad slow. This horse broke legitimately
Well,
slow.
fine, yeah.
This horse broke a length plus behind the field, and then sort of took a while to get into stride. He didn't break a tad slow. He broke legitimately slow. And the other thing about it is, this was a race where the pace collapsed, and this horse broke slow, made a middle move into the race, made the first move to break it open, and then the race fell apart. The second place finisher is the horse that Alex Bregman stable owns that actually came back to win for Rusty Arnold. I thought this horse ran very well. He may have found himself in an unusually tough race. But this horse's debut for Wesley was promising, and I think the 49 buyer, he might be a lot better than that buyer suggests.
You find it weird that Irad winds up on the other Wesley here, Alibi Ike? Rode both of these horses first time out. And he winds up on Alibi Ike.
Yeah. I mean, I have no idea how these things work. You may be right. Maybe they don't really like this one. Maybe the fig was slow and they just don't think he's that good. I found a stat for Clubhouse that was fascinating to me. I think this would fool a lot of people, and it shows one of the many reasons why Todd is, perennially just been one of the best trainers in the country for 25 years now. It says, I'm going to win some race in Saratoga. I'm going to have to win with a 2-year-old firster on the turf in a sprint occasionally. I got to do that. And 5 for 11, that's amazing.
A couple of them were stakes winners, Mystic Eyes and then March Express.
Yeah, I mean, it's
a quality horses,
it's a $9 average win price,
Yeah.
too. We're not talking about horses that are winning that are paying $4. He's winning with horses that may not take a ton of money, and because I think people, and myself probably included, normally would look and go, oh, if Todd's running him in a turf sprint, probably not that good.
That's
Maybe
an insane.
not an
That's
opinion
an
you want to
insane.
adopt.
That's
It's
an
a small
insane
sample,
stat.
but it's pretty.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty impressive.
8 in the money too.
He's running 2, and one of them's winning. Basically, is what he's
Right.
saying. The 5 Data Man is a half to Alda.
Yep.
Half or full? No, half.
Half.
Alda's a Munnings.
Alda's a Munnings.
Anyway, interesting first race. Looking forward to seeing the 4.
Yeah, they have to run happy in here on the main track only list. The number 9 Rarify.
Anthony, he's running on Sunday.
Okay. Well, he's the main track only anyway.
He's running on Sunday.
All right.
So something you can look forward to. Run Happy's
There you
half
go.
for Wesley Ward will be running on Sunday, as will the other horse, Batflip. He is in the same race, actually. That's an interesting race, actually. A 6th race. So race number 2. Yeah, listen, here's the problem with race number 2. I wish that there wasn't an entry and just Indemnify was running, because I'd pick him. This guy, Growth Capital, has gotten a little bit boring. But I will say, and we'll watch his last race, he ran very well last time. I
did.
understand Shug's horse didn't come back, but I think he pulled up in the race. He had an issue, unfortunately, in there, and he did all the dirty work. I remember this way: if Growth Capital, this was the only race he ran.
You tap out on yeah.
Now, but unfortunately, I mean, for better or for worse,
He has too many.
he's starting. But he did run very, very well last time.
did.
But I have a feeling his entry mate could be very dangerous as well.
Okay.
And
Another
I get it, and I'm
Tattersall's
not.
loss?
I got no problem. Picking against them is great. They're a short price. I just didn't choose to pick against them.
Okay.
You did, and we'll show Oglethorpe's race in the dirt, where Princess Sparrow actually ran okay in there too, and they ran very, very well in the dirt. These horses, and now they're getting back to the surface that they were originally meant for.
There was a push on this horse first time out for the turf. Danny Gargan left him in as son of Arrogate out of a street crime mare, plenty of dirt pedigree there, and this horse ran well. I thought he ran well. 83 buyer figure. Yeah. And now
No,
he
he's
gets to the surface.
listen. Here's my problem with him, and I'm not going to be shocked when he wins or runs very well. He's going to get bet off his dirt figure. He's an annoying horse in that way. You know what I mean? You almost rather he ran 4th in that race. I mean,
guess.
you wouldn't have the confidence that he's good, but if you want to bet him the turf, and he's meant for the turf. You know what's funny with Danny's horse yesterday? It was 1-5. It was one of the most overbet horses in the history of horse racing. The horse that lost the feature, the favorite.
Dakota Gold.
I saw Danny earlier, and Danny said to me, basically said, were you surprised that I was the 4-5 favorite? If there was a 5-2, I said, honestly, I was. And he said, do you think it'll be right? Because I thought they'd be relatively similar. I said, I would have normally told you no. Yes, I think you're right. They'll be close in odds. But if David Aragona is confident you're going to be odds on and the other is a much bigger price, I imagine David's right. He's not making 4-5 shots and being wrong almost ever. Well, he was wrong. He went off at 1. And Danny said, yeah, I thought it was. He said, he wasn't saying he didn't like his horse. He's just saying, I thought it was a more competitive race than the odds suggest. He went off 1-5. Who was betting horses like that at 1-5?
Betting any horse at 1-5. But
Well,
yes, right.
I mean, there are horses that you might say, I guess this horse could be 1-5. That didn't seem like one of them. And even if it was 270, that was weird, right?
It was
And I
betting
think
in that
went
race was
1-2,
strange.
1-5 the last flash. He had
Yeah.
to jump in. Maybe it was Phil betting the 500 I gave him. I hadn't given it to him yet.
You couldn't get Phil to bet on a 4-5 shot if you gave another 1,000.
That's why I knew there was a reason that Phil and I were simpatico.
0 chance.
What about clubbing? Oh, you got him third.
You want to go clubbing tonight?
I'm not a clubbing guy. I'm 60. I'm not 72, but my clubbing days are long gone. I think, they closed the Palladium. I used to go to the Palladium. Let's go to Limelight. Loved Limelight. You ever go to Limelight? Was fun.
Were you a Studio 54 guy?
It was before my time.
You would have been.
Yeah.
You were stuck in with Liza Minnelli.
Danceteria was great. Clubbing is full to a turf winner. The Dam was a very nice turf horse.
3 for 7 on the
and
grass.
That's the same
overall.
race.
Yeah.
And this one won't take much money, so I thought
True.
might be interesting. It's an interesting race. The entry may win. They may run 1-2, but they may not. There's a lot going on in this race, and I respect you for picking against. Race number 3. I wanted to go back in the time machine a little bit to a race that Hammer and Ammer was about the most fortunate winner of all time, coming up a good rail while the others battled out. And the horse that you have on top, American Rule, ran far and away the best race. And I even thought that Pioneer Spirit ran fairly well in here. And
did.
You've taken American Rule. This is 3 races later. Have at it.
Yeah, American Rule for the Notas, whose barn is heating up a little, like you pointed out, heating up a little bit. I would imagine Jose Ortiz is going to come out. Excuse me, come out of there running. I don't see a ton of speed in here, Andy. I think this horse is the fastest horse in the race.
I forgot to rewrite the pace projector.
I know
down.
Mount Travers was aggressively ridden last time to be
well,
forward.
you
and
don't think
actually
Last
ran
Chance
well.
to Glory is going to show? You don't think Joel?
I guess Last Chance to Glory can show some speed, but I think American Rule, if Jose is intent on it, can grab it.
I don't know. He's pretty quick.
I guess.
I think they'll be the 2 horses. I don't disagree with you. I don't listen. I've got him 1-2. I don't have an argument with your horse at all. The thing I liked a little about Last Chance to Glory.
No amount for you at all?
Who? No, we'll get to him in a second. I'll talk about Last Chance to Glory for a minute. He was involved in the pace last time in a race that the pace just completely fell apart. And I know that Gustavo's been a little bit cold lately, but he is still 4 for 8 with 16 the board and a $4 ROI off the claim with Dirt Routers since he started training last October. So I thought this horse was interesting, and he's a little bit dressed down off his last race, and I think he's better than that. So I thought he was dangerous in here. I'm using the 7 as well. I just thought Last Chance to Glory would be a bigger price, but I was sort of flip-flopping him in here, and those are the 2 horses I wanted. And I want a little Pioneer Spirit as well, because he was close to the pace. He was on the pace also that fell apart last time, because those, as you know, are the kind of horses that I like. I was sort of between the 2 and 5 for 4th, so I just put a horse to be a bigger price. We'll show amounts race 2 back. I don't know. Is he really beating I just thought he was beating much harder, tough knock. He ran fine last time. He was overbet, so the fact that he disappointed at 7-2 is sort of the wrong way to put it, because it was just too good a field for him.
But look at the horses he ran against last time.
I understand. I'm not knocking it, but look at the horse he beat here, Lunissima. He's beating horses. You will agree. Let me put it this way.
I'll agree. I agree with everything you've said. He beat those 2 fields the right way, and then I don't think he embarrassed himself against an exponentially better field last time.
He ran fine last
compared
time.
To today.
I just don't know if he's that good, and I thought he'd be a pretty short price in here. I'm not going to be shocked when he wins, but he's going to beat me, this horse.
Okay.
There's no way in any multi he'd be better than a C. And if in a C, because I'm using big prices in other races, this is a horse I'm not a big fan of. I just think these are better horses than him. I'm going to hope that one of the others shows up with their good race.
I wanted to look. I completely forgot to do this. Was he eligible for the starter yesterday?
Anthony, at this point in my life, I have no idea. There was a starter yesterday.
That's
a
the
question.
Grump's Little Tots race. I think he was. If he was eligible for that and he didn't run in that, that's a negative.
Except he already got his butt kicked by the horse that won the race and the horse who didn't run well. Maybe Todd thought this was.
I would have gave him.
Todd and Mike Rapoli are trying to win races. That's one thing, and I don't think running this horse. This horse ran for 20 and 25.
This
is not really a drop down.
Yeah,
Mike is here, so they're trying to win races.
But he's not protected. He's not. That's all I'm saying.
I imagine. I don't think it's a knock at all. I think they're trying to run.
I see the little.
It's fine.
The fuzzy with the 6. I thought it was 5s and 7s in here.
Okay.
And I just went to the horse with more speed. That's going to be a better price.
Okay. We disagree. It's fine.
Yeah.
It happens. Listen, I'm not going to be shocked when I'm wrong and a mount beats me, but he's going to beat me.
Fair enough.
Race number 4. The
4th.
So Whiskey Lullaby.
I scratch into Whiskey Lullaby.
Okay. So your second
I
pick.
don't know. I felt like this horse was against the track first time for the special weight. Came back last time. This was a weird race where Cadencia just kind of led them on a merry chase.
Yeah, well, no, that's not exactly true. There were a couple of hideously bad rides given that
Still
allowed
led them on
he
a-
didn't
I was-
know.
I was gonna get into
He
it.
actually didn't lead him on a merry chase because he didn't have the lead for the whole race. He was third, and the only reason he ended up the lead was the
Oh,
two
that
gentlemen
that
that were in
70 to 1
front
shot was in
decided to
front.
like do the wrap up
Yes,
because
yes,
listen,
yes,
I'll
you're
admit
right.
it. No horse has ever won in the front end a flat mile at Belmont with a 24:48 fraction until Cadency did it. I mean, it was incredible. But that's why he got the lead. That was not a merry chase race. That was some inadvisably stupid rides.
And
Sorry.
I didn't think this horse. Not looking to pick on anybody. I don't think this horse got a particularly good ride that day either.
Well, yeah, this is one of the horses that got strangled back. He was
Yeah.
in front. He was in front. It's a foolish ride. I don't disagree. But
And now he gets a rider change to a more aggressive guy in Jose Lascano. Mm-hmm.
No,
she's going to be a decent enough price. I would imagine. Now, look, you have an even money morning line off the board, so you pretty much cut everybody in half almost, right?
Right.
So, but I still think she'll be 5-1.
I'm glad it's going to be a heavy favorite, huh? And we'll show the first race at Keeneland. I got to tell you something.
What happened
I
last
get
time?
that this horse can win off the first race at Keeneland.
That
And is
last
the horse
race
to beat?
was terrible. You want to bet this horse is the favorite off that last race?
Well, let's see where I picked him. I do have him second.
We both have the horse
For
second, but you can't.
because the eight's out.
You can't. Right.
But Johnny, if you think Johnny Velasquez gave up on this horse last time,
rode
you
her.
need to go.
Rode the hair off.
You
her.
need to go to the replay center because Johnny did everything he could to get this horse motivated, and she was dreadful. And now she drops after that race.
Did you have Beachfront Bid on top as well, or no?
No.
Okay.
No, I had her second.
Okay, so we both double scratching this horse for second.
Well, yeah, I don't really have
Well,
any
scratch the door
particularly
for second,
clever
I should say.
ideas
No,
with the
me-
others
me
here.
either.
I just think that Flavian Pratt's going to be able to get to the front with Miss Bonnie T. And listen, I know she's a career loser and not the kind of horse I normally take. Having said that, she's been demonstratively unlucky in her career. She has run. I mean, it's funny because I commented last time she ran. It was last time or two times. No, last time. It's unbelievable she's still a maiden. And David Donkler and I were joking about it. He's like, it is amazing. And she has been really unlucky. And the best races that she runs are in front. And she's got to be in front.
She's
in this
got
race.
the blinkers go
They
on.
got to put her on the lead. And I think two things. People aren't going to bet this horse like they should because they're going to see the trainer. And they don't realize that he's a good trainer. He won that race on, was it opening day or opening week of Abuse Power, who should have paid $360 and paid $660. So I think it'll be a better price. And you notice who claimed this horse?
I did.
Sandy Goldfarb.
So I'm at Nove last night.
I don't think if Sandy Goldfarb is really, you were at Nove. It's a shock.
I was hanging out with
it's-
Phil's dad, and Sandy was at the next table.
If Sandy thinks he's a good trainer, that's good enough for me. I mean, I'm not saying he's not, but
Funny, I know we're up against time a little bit. Regina, the number 6. I was talking to my man Joe from Massachusetts. We're having some fun on Naira Bet social
Joe.
media. Hunch bet. He bet his wife's name Regina. Talking about another Regina. Here's this Regina in today.
I'm just
Go
glad.
over to Naira Bet's
I'm
Twitter.
just
Take a
glad
look.
by some miracle this is about the 5th time that Linda's entered the horse and finally not scratched it. So thanks, Linda. You didn't scratch. We love you. Race number 5. Race number
You got
5.
very angry for a second
Not
there
angry.
just now.
Not angry. Just bring it up.
Very intense.
No, not at all. I'm in a great mood. Future Victory is the horse to beat. I don't think there's any argument against it. We both have the horse second. We've taken shots with other horses, but I'm not going to argue that this horse is the horse to beat. We'll show the last race at Monmouth. And this horse, I mean, you know who the horse to beat this horse is, right?
Future victory. Yes, that's it's Robbie Falcone.
Right. This is a horse. This was a funny race because I got 2 texts from different smart friends of mine saying, how can the favorite be the favorite? So there's no chance. And if I had time to handicap, I might have bet Robbie's horse at 8-1 because this horse he ran this horse in the stake. I want to say he ran this horse in the Fort Marcy, the horse to beat this horse. I mean, he wasn't going to win, but had good California form going back. I don't like that the horse has now lost at 3-2 and 2-1 in the last 2 races. And I don't think this was the horse that they were talking about. I think this horse ended up the favorite. This horse lost to a legit horse last time.
Definitely the
It's
horse to beat.
It's not close.
Definitely the horse to beat.
So we'll show a replay that involves your selection, who I did not like out of the race, but you did. Girl Dad is the one who finished 6th, where Bricko finished 4th, and Chess's Dream finished third. Why do you like the one that ran the worst?
Girl Dad's day is over here. You know, I feel like Girl Dad came back from the December break a little keyed up. And before going to the break, I thought some of the horses better racing when he was allowed to settle and make one run. And I think you see Joel aboard today. I would not be surprised if this horse was, especially with horses like Spectatorless in the race, even Barnegat Light on the rail a little bit. There's some speed on in here, and maybe not as fresh as off the layoff. The rider switched to Joel, maybe a little more quiet hands to get this horse off the pace today. Maybe revert to some more popular and better tactics. I know this horse won rating just off the pace,
wait
but
a
they
second.
were walking around the track at Gulfstream Park.
Wait a second. This horse was 2 lengths off of 23 at Keeneland. This horse was probably exactly where he was expected to be last
I thought
time.
this horse was a little. I thought he was a little
I
sharp.
think it's unfair to say this
I
horse
thought he was
got
a little
us back.
sharp last time.
Okay.
I'm not blaming Manny.
We disagree.
I'm just saying I thought he was a little sharp last
Okay.
time.
He's second off a layoff and can certainly run
Yeah.
better. I don't disagree. But, I mean, so is Chess's Dream. And Chess's Dream kind of dropped back early in the race and made that big middle move up the inside, and I know saved ground. But I thought ran fine in there. And even Bricko was 3 wide, angled out in the stretch. Thought ran well. Yeah, we saw the race differently. I thought the horse you probably wanted the most out of there was Chess's Dream by a very slim margin over Bricko. The problem with Chess's Dream is there's an entry with Valerio is going to take money from Mike Makers live.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the problem. I don't want either one. I went to a horse that comes out of a completely different race, and that's the 10 Gussie Mack, who this is an odd horse to ship up here. And maybe Niall Seville feels like this horse is going to get claimed and he wants to get rid of him. I don't know that the claim box is going to be full on this guy. He didn't run well, but he did have a ridiculous wide trip last time and didn't really have the best of the running in that race at Delaware last time. And frankly, he's running against significantly better horses, and this is a horse on the go-back who could beat this field. Now, the go-back is a while ago, and I think there's an absolute possibility this horse just isn't that effective anymore. But he's going to be a big price. Javier's riding well. Nice to see him get that win yesterday. And I just thought this horse might be a little bit interesting coming in as a new face because I got to tell you, other than Future Victory, nobody in here scares me. And Future Victory is a top ledge horse that's lost 2 straight races, short prices, though he is the horse to beat. But they were both at Monmouth.
Yeah.
You know,
no, even Future Victory, I don't know if he's somebody who really elicits
I'm shaking
fear.
my boots, but he's the horse to beat.
Right,
That's
yeah,
all.
I
I'm
agree.
not. That's That's
I
it.
agree.
All right, that's the 5th. We'll take a break, and we'll be back with the late pick 5.
For almost 150 years, the Saratoga name has been synonymous with the finest quality, sustainably sourced spring water available anywhere. Saratoga carries on the rich tradition of its forefathers by crafting each stunning blue glass bottle with the same attention to detail and care that has been its hallmark for generations. Visit SaratogaSpringwater.com today or ask for us by name at your local market or restaurant. Saratoga Spring Water. Make every day exquisite.
Welcome back to Talking Horses. Anthony Stabile and Andy Serling. I'm looking through the line here to see who they bet. And, I guess they're not really prices. I was going to show the replay of Tuesday's Child and Lucky Mucho Man, who have the best finishes of anybody in their last start. But Anthony and I both tried Tuesday's Child last time. That's how desperate to bet against Lucky Brody we were. We'll take a look at that race. These are 2 of the horses that are going to take money in here. And David has a bigger price than I thought he would. And he's probably right. I got to take new faces in here to this group.
Yeah, it's hard to take this horse off the last race, right?
Well, the rail was good this day. It wasn't as big as some other days, but it was not a disadvantage. And I know the horse who beat him was a heavy, heavy favorite, but just had his chances. And
Got beat to a fellow Siaka barnmate, Lord Brownie, 2 back. And
I think what happens in here is you either take the new face in here, Ria's Angel. I'm sorry, slow decision. Well, I'm not putting on top because it's going to be overbet with Irad Ortiz, even though the horse is obviously dangerous here, or Ria's Angel. And we both have Ria's Angel on top. Why don't you talk about him?
Ria's Angel dropping in, lowest tag of her career so far. She started off her career in for a tag, so you see the bounce back between the special weight and the tag. It doesn't bother me that much. The one race this horse ran for the barn on the dirt was her best race, and she ran against better horses and Now she's running against a horse with the morning line favorite is a horse that's never run on the dirt, and we already talked about the Tuesday's child race. So, yeah, those were the two. Slow decision. It bothered me that Rudy ran slow decision on the turf first time because the mare was actually a nice little New York bred stakes horse who she was 3 for 14. She won some races. She was in some of those New York bred stakes when she was a younger filly. I don't know why this filly, she didn't take a dime. She was 7-1. She didn't really run particularly well on the turf. It kind of leads me to believe that maybe she can't run on the dirt.
Yeah, I disagree with that assessment. I don't think she ran that badly in the context of the race last time. And I'm not sure what price should have been. I thought she actually ran okay. I mean, Rudy doesn't win with first-time stars at the turf. I agree with you about the dirt pedigree. Was Temperament Patty Mark Hennig? Or I'm wrong.
I thought it was Carlos Martin, but you might be right.
It was Dale. It was originally
no.
Dale.
Yeah?
Might have been Carlos after that. It was originally Dale Romans. This horse was good. It's a good New York
She
bred.
was nice.
Good horse, New York bred, right?
Nice
She ran like an
filly.
89 buyer in her second
I think she
start or
ran in
something.
the Maid of the Mist.
She ran an 80. Yeah, she ran an 89 buyer second. She was one of the favorites, if not the favorite in the Maid of the Mist. No, I agree. It's weird.
She
he
may
ran
have
on
won the
turf.
Maid of the Mist.
But maybe the horse thought he needed a race, and maybe they're trying to win up in Saratoga.
Maybe.
So I mean, I don't know. Once again, they're trying to win races up here, Michael Foley. And so maybe this horse was more like, let's get this horse a race and get up to Saratoga and find a spot like this to drop down. The thing is, because Irad Ortiz is on this horse, he'll probably be a shorter price. If he had just used another rider, it's possible the one would have been favored, and I might have picked this horse on top. I'm going to use both of them. I'll pick the one that's a bigger price. I mean, it's really as simple as that to me.
Agreed.
I don't want anybody else in here. Race number 7. Don't let us interrupt, guys. Seriously, don't let us interrupt you. Seriously, we don't want to get in the way of your conversation. Anthony, maybe it's incredible. Guys, please. It's a little distracting. Race number 7. Race number 7. Keep me in mind. Have you almost forgotten about him?
Somebody said to me, I guess on Sunday, keep me in mind on Friday. I was like, okay. Keep me in mind.
He's not him.
I couldn't remember.
Well, he ran. We'll show the Jim
I
Dandy
know, but
last year.
he's been gone so long.
Well,
that it was
no, right.
Like,
He disappeared from your mind, but it's a pretty good horse. And one of the reasons I didn't like him was I thought he was overrated, and I don't think I was wrong, because he finished third in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile on a big pace meltdown. But the truth is, he's not that bad.
No.
And, I mean, no disrespect to Robertino Diodoro.
He
This
got a
Fletcher
great
guy's
ride.
pretty
He got
good.
a great ride in here, man.
Yeah, but he did run second to Central Quality, and Mask Parade's pretty good, finished third. So I don't know. I mean, why am I going to try to beat this horse? I'm sorry. Why am I supposed to try to beat this horse?
So I took one shot to beat him, and I have a reason for you. I have 2 reasons for you. He's going to be 3 to 5. And he does not have a lick of speed. To me, that is, and I don't deal in absolutes, but I don't want horses that I know are going to be behind the 8 ball the first 5/8 of a mile of a race at 2 to 5 off 10 plus months.
Wait a second. He's even money in the morning line.
This horse is going to be 3 to 5.
Okay.
I mean, they're going to look at the essential qualities. The essential quality.
Let me ask you a
Preakness
question.
Derby.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think he's more or less likely to win this race than Dakota Gold was yesterday? You think Dakota Gold was more likely to win, I guess.
I do.
I don't. I think he's too good for these horses. I think he's too good for these.
I would not have a problem with that statement if he wasn't 1 for 11. Now, I know he's running exclusively in graded stakes races other than his debut. I get that. Horse broke his maiden in the KJC. I got it. But he has the lack of speed and the fact that he is 3 to 5.
How far back do you think he's going to be today in Todd Pletcher's barn? He works a minute in his last few arcs.
Wait a second. Hold on a second. He's not leaving the barn of a slouch. He's going from a guy that wins at 25% at 7 different outposts around the country.
I like Robertino Dior, and he's a winning trainer. I said to you, I don't know what that has to do with how far back do you think he's going to be today? Because I'll be shocked if he's far back today. And I mean shocked if this horse is more than a couple lengths behind. I'll be honest with you, I won't be shocked if he's in front.
That's nuts.
I think you're going to see a horse with a lot more speed in this race. With breaking from the rail with Joel, I think you're going to see a very different horse in
I
this
think
race.
the gate opens, efficiency goes to the lead.
Yeah, because they clear from post 6 and a mile and 1/8 like it's just like
And
it's breaking
the
sticks.
only the horse next to him, I guess, Tawanaku, who I watched train with my friend Tom Amos earlier this week.
Well, Tom likes to rate speed horses, and so does Kendrick. So he probably won't go
he
at
could
all.
He could follow him in. He could follow him in. I thought Flavien would just put this horse on the front.
We have a
end
different
today.
opinion here. It's fine. We'll take a look at efficiency. It's been entered a number of times MTO in races. I mean, Chad might have thought his last race happened because of the wet track. And he ran fine first time out. I don't want to knock you. I mean, he ran a winning race that day. I'll tell you one thing. This horse was ridden to the wire. He didn't win by 11, eased up.
No, this was Derby Day when
Wasn't a
Sorry.
very good field. Now,
Yeah.
Chad has particularly good numbers with horses off maiden wins in the dirt at Naira. And I'm not going to be shocked when he runs well in here either. I picked him second. I'm just not sure he can compete against a horse. Listen, maybe the one can't run anymore. I don't know. I'm going to be surprised. I thought about picking this guy, but the more I looked, the more I thought, keep me in mind's too good for these horses.
okay.
And I mean, listen, Naval Aviator ran huge last time. Joe Sharp has those amazing numbers off the claim at Churchill with routers. This is such a better field. And also, he got a pace to close into. I mean,
You know I'm a sucker for complete agenda. I'm a fan of his. Maybe if it falls apart, he can get a piece.
yeah, I got him like third, too. I don't disagree. If it falls
He's a little
apart,
bit of
though,
he's
the
a
one
little
is
bit
a
of a pet.
cinch.
Yeah.
But I don't think the one's going to be that far apart, and I don't think this race is going to fall apart. And they just don't have particularly fast paces here, and there's nobody in here that's that fast. I mean, there's not exactly a lot of fast speed horses in here, right?
I mean, I think efficiency's fast enough, Andy.
He's not slow, but he's not a bullet. I think
You're
you've
going
gotta-
9 furlongs.
Anthony, you got to be a little careful about equating fractions in a one-turn mile 60.
I'm not.
Mile,
I think
you
he's.
are.
I just think he's fit. The 7/8 race. He was never. I mean, the 7/8 race. He did not get a good ride. He was never far from it.
Okay.
I think he's fast enough
Okay,
to have a decided advantage over these horses in the first half mile, unless Tawanaku is super aggressively ridden out of the gate.
Okay, we'll see what happens in race number 7, the return to Keep Me in Mind. Yeah, I guess that's a perfect name. You didn't keep him in mind. I agree. I forgot about him, too. I was joking with you. I don't disagree.
It took me a few seconds, and I was like, "Keep me in mind." And I was like, "Oh,
No, I saw
essential
him
quality
when it came
Jim
out,
Dandy
but
second.
I'm like, I'm like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot about this guy. All right, I blew it. In where's race number 8? I can see your picks. I think I might have blown it. Yeah, I should have known you couldn't resist Cocapelli. I was figured you'd go back to making my move, who won last time out, and you didn't pick her. You picked her second. I picked
did.
her fourth. Why? Well, you've got her second. Well, you're probably more positive on her than I am.
I mean, she's inside speed. She's probably a touch faster than Get the Candy.
Well, it's pretty close, though. It's pretty
Yeah,
close.
it's close. That's what I'm saying. It's touch. I mean, I don't even think Palace Gossip's that far behind.
No, I agree, and she's got to go from the rail. She walked on the front end, 22-2 on that baked course at Belmont. She's just walking out there, and to be honest, she's a Mia, and Dufresne are not as good as these horses, and she's under the gun from the inside. I don't disagree. She might be a decent turf horse. This is a just completely different planet. For
Yeah,
her
maybe.
in here.
Maybe
so
it is.
you like your friend Cocapelli?
I
How
do.
about it?
Fresh one debut, one off an 8-month layoff. Horses run fresh. Now it's a little bit of a longer layoff, but I don't know. Obviously, this horse went to the bench for over a year, so I don't know if she's ever run a particularly bad race. I know you're not the biggest fan of Cocapelli.
No, I don't like her at all.
I know.
Christophe Clement, 250-day plus layoff in turf sprints is 4 for 21 with a $1.04 ROI. I think it's Saratoga's 0 for something, 1 or 3 or something. He has a second, though, at 5-2. I think this horse is completely dressed up with nowhere to go off just dream setups, monster paces that fell apart, great rides. Kendra gave this horse a great ride first time out. Joelle last, 2 back. And, I mean, now, last time, to be fair, she's probably better shorter, and that was a ridiculously slow pace. So she had everything go her way.
And she was gone for a year.
And then last time. She was second start last year. She had everything against her. She was a horrible 3-5 in there, stretching out, no slow pace. I just think she's a little dressed up, and I don't love Christophe layoffs. And I saw this race. I mean, I don't think we saw it that differently. I just like the 6 Sassy Melissa. We'll show her last race. I thought she ran really well. We'll show the start, the early part of the race last time, where things didn't go really well for her. She's the number 5 in here, and she's just not fast enough to keep up. So I don't really think there's a major problem at the start. But she's going to get inside here, and you're going to see her steady back behind horses. And if you're going to be a dead closer and you settle in that position, and then you have to steady again, that's a very well, we didn't show it. You can watch the replay at home, hopefully. And she's had to be back last. She lost a length or so of position on the backstretch, and then she had to try to close into a race that was won more forwardly. I thought she ran very well in here, and I just thought she was super logical.
Yeah.
I mean, I assume is she the favorite morning line?
She's 5-2, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem with her last race. When she got the money 2 starts back, she had the recency on almost everybody else in the field. She had that.
Well, she had a good trip
race.
that day.
She got a
Great
good
ride
trip
from
that
Jose,
day.
but I just think she's super logical in here.
Yeah.
I thought Palace Gossip actually ran well last time. This is a tougher spot, but she's out of the speeds. I have a goofy thought in here. My goofy thought is the 7 by hubby Hello Money. Well, let me say something about this horse. This horse's turf races are not that bad.
No, they're not.
And she's actually got some talent. And she's going to be a huge price in here. Right?
She's going to be a huge price.
Yeah. I'm going to throw her in. I'm going to throw her in.
Okay.
Okay. We saw it a little bit differently in race number 8. Anybody else? Anything else you
No,
want
I think that's
touch on? Big Q. You're not a Big Q fan?
Nah.
Big Q, originally trained by Gary Gullo. We saw him yesterday. Of course, tomorrow is Lust Garden Day.
So, Gary, at the rerun fundraiser on Monday night, I believe.
Nice. I heard that was fun.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, Lust Garden Day, there will be a trainer autograph session over by the Silks Room.
Yes.
It's to raise money and awareness for pancreatic cancer research, and it's all done in the name of our friend, the late Dominic Galuccio.
Yes.
Wear purple. That's what
Wear purple.
you know me. I don't need much cue to. I thought about a purple shirt this morning, and I said, "Oh, I got to wear it tomorrow." So I decided not to.
There you go.
Yeah.
I forgot I wore my purple shirt yesterday.
You don't have another one?
No.
Really? You can't steal one from Barney or something?
No.
Did you wear your purple yesterday? Just one? How does a guy just have one purple shirt?
I'm trying not to buy too much as the weight comes off.
You make a great point. It's good.
This is new. I think I wore it once or
You're
twice.
looking sharp. I mean,
Thanks.
you are. No doubt about it. I'm very impressed.
I think I'm going to get a haircut when I go home.
It's
though.
interesting because a lot of people that haven't seen you in a while, I've mentioned to, and they said, "Wow, Anthony looks great. He's lost all his weight." I just don't notice it because I see you
every day.
so it just doesn't really, it's odd.
I haven't seen some of these people for 10 months.
It's like people say what a jerk I am. You say, I don't really notice. I see him every day.
No, they remember.
No, they don't. They say it, and you say, it's like I'm so used to it.
No, and I'm telling you that they
race
remember.
number 9. I believe the favorite,
Number
race
9,
and Dave and I were discussing this on the way in, and it's close, will be Dolce Zell. And I have to tell you, and we'll show the last race, this was a race where Irad is trying to do the right thing, and it turned out to be the very wrong thing because you didn't want to be inside on Derby weekend. And it was a little early to know that. She also lost to McCulloch, and she just was right down the rail in the stretch, and you couldn't be there. This horse is raced 2 back behind Spenderella, who's probably going to be the biggest threat to McCulloch if she runs the way she did in the Belmont Oaks going forward. Okay, you're going to have to tell me, how is this horse not in your top 4? It's got no problem betting against.
Listen, I wanted to get a little goofy in here, which I did.
That's fine, but
Yeah, she was the odd woman out. That was it. She's the 5th. She's the infamous 5th pick.
she's not in your top.
And
Okay.
I'm going to spread in here.
Okay.
It's a big spread race for me.
Okay, I think she's the worst to beat in here. I don't have a problem with Eminent Victor. We'll look at her last race.
I thought Eminent Victor overcame a lot last time.
No, you didn't.
I'm sorry?
You're kidding, right? She had
I
a dream trip of all time.
thought she Well, I thought she did. She was a little funky early. She was the first 3/8 of a mile they were just. I didn't know what was going on, to be honest with you. And
The
then,
two horses ran her from the field.
no. She kind of gathered herself, and I thought she ran really well last time.
She ran fine.
Off the break, I thought she ran really well last time.
Okay. She had a very, very good trip, and she got the job done.
Holding off Oakhurst off of the 9-month break. I thought she ran really well last time. I think she'll be the favorite. I think she'll be favored over the 5.
Okay, I can't remember our bets the other day.
Me
so
either.
Unless I think they're home on my thing, so I'll try to look them up. So we'll assume 108. I'll bet you. You want to bet 1 or 2 lunches? I'll say the 5 is favored.
I'll bet you 1 lunch.
Okay, 108. Okay, 5 over 6 favorite.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm very disappointed in Steve that Steve doesn't remember. He might have been out of town, and maybe because he's sort of
He
like
involved the
he's
1 and the
kinda-
3.
Let's see. Maybe he did check in on that. He has. What's that?
I think they involved the 1 and the 3 on Wednesday. I don't remember. In a race.
Oh, by the way, Todd and Mike Rapoli ended up with Peppermint Patty, which I guess is how he has that horse. Steve doesn't seem to remember. So, talk to me about Al Kahira.
Al Kahira ran into the aforementioned Spenderella in her second career turf race. She was 4-5 into Spenderella, and then Bill ran.
Well, that was Spenderella's debut.
Yeah.
And only people who follow me on Twitter bet the horse. Otherwise, she'd have been 100-1, not 7-1.
Bill.
I had pointed out what a good pedigree
Bill
she had.
ran her on dirt last time, the next start, and then got back to the turf. A very cozy.
Bill
and
ran her on
easy
the wrong
trip.
surface? I'm
Bill,
stunned.
a very cozy and easy trip to get the money at Churchill Kentucky Derby week. I don't know. You know, I wasn't overwhelmed by any of the stakes face runs. I thought Eminent Victor ran really well last time. Like I said, I want to spread in here. So if I feel like I want to spread in here, I want to go for a little bit of a price.
Okay.
I'll take her on the upswing. There's not a ton of pace in here.
Well,
And
you could be in front with the one scratching Republique. so
she could be in front
Scratch
now.
helps you a lot. No, she
Yeah.
should be in front.
She should be
I
in
agree
front.
with that.
She could be in front. She
That's
should be
very
in front.
fair.
And I just figured there wasn't a lot of pace, even with Republique in the race, but figured she would sit off of her. Now if somebody else goes, she should sit. But yeah, I
No,
wouldn't
I
mind
think
her
you're
being
right. I
forward.
think it's a very valid point.
Yeah.
No,
And
I don't think she's impossible. I get what you're saying. I think it's a, it's
she's
an
gonna
inspired
she's
pick.
going to be a big price. You got 2 Chad Browns in here. Skims always seems to take some money, and I don't know.
I don't like Skims.
The
I thought she was
Delacour
awful
filly
last
was-
time, Skims.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that, but I mean, David has her co-third choice on the morning line.
No, I'm not. I don't.
Right?
I'm not knocking this pick in any stretch. We'll get there in a
Koala
second.
Princess had a couple of good races.
Yeah,
I mean,
no, I'm not. The horse that she beat ran 7 buyer points worse in her next start, but she was trying to go a mile and 3/8 in her next start. So I'm not really sure how much you want to use that as a guide. And I don't think this horse is impossible in here. I think Dolce Zell won't be compromised because she could actually be sitting second to this horse. So I don't think you'll be hurt. But I got her 5th, and I think it's very valid. Listen, I don't know if Koala Prince is even that good. We'll show her win at Kentucky Downs. I mean, she is one of the worst favorites in the history of Breeders' Cup races.
Can't believe it.
It's-
When I
it's-
looked and saw this, I didn't remember this.
Oh, Jonathan and I were joking about it the other day because I thought she was the biggest joke of all time in the Breeders' Cup. And, interestingly enough, the 30 people that told me what an idiot I am for not liking the Breeders' Cup last year on Twitter, none of them came back after the race and
Come
said,
on,
oh, you were
really? You
right.
sure?
I know, it's just unbelievable.
You sure you just didn't mute them all?
I must have been drunk and missed them or something. She came up a gold rail that day. I'll tell you, though, she didn't run that badly in the Breeders' Cup.
She didn't.
did not get a good trip
But you
that
feel
day.
like the whole field didn't run that badly in the Breeders' Cup. But yes, I agree. She did not
She
have the
actually
cleanest
didn't run
trip.
that badly. Horses have come out of that race and run well.
You know how I mean, I have her 3rd. You know how I feel about that Kentucky Downs form. That is an island. That place is an island.
I don't know
and
about
I guess
that.
she was good enough
Well,
in her debut.
she beat a horse you loved last week.
Yep.
She had a
Yeah, but
perfect
that
trip when
place
she
is
won
an
last
island,
time.
yeah.
I think she's a little interesting. I split up Chad's 2 horses because I much prefer Dolce Zell, but that doesn't make me right. And you've got an idea to price, and I'll throw your horse in. I think it's a very, very reasonable pick. It means, it means the horse probably went nowhere, but I don't have any problem with that. I was more surprised you left the 5 out. I don't think there's anything wrong with picking the 3. Probably the most interesting pick in the race, to be honest with you. So what do we do with Let Her Inspire You in race number 10? Who you have 2nd and I have 3rd. Because she got a huge figure. Sweet Mystery, who didn't get a great trip in that race, came back and won in her next start. Improved her figure, I think 14 points. We could take a look at Let Her Inspire You's last race if you get a chance.
She, we say this a lot, and people ask me that. What do you guys mean when you say that? She ran.
She ran.
She ran a race. She really ran last time. She was off to a long break, and the Philly tested her, and
she's a bit of a phony in her first year, but she was like a different horse last year.
different horse. Yep. The first is run second and third in here, right? The first that they whispered could run a little bit took a run at her, and she just flicked her aside.
This was the day the rail was the place to be. So I
Okay.
do think she benefited from the racetrack, to be fair, and that may dress her up a little bit. But even if the figure is 7 points high, unless you just don't think she's going to come back and run well, and I looked up some numbers. 3-year-old off a maiden win in a dirt sprint at Naira. Todd's 8 for 27, 30%, $1.87 ROI. So he's beating the takeout. It's not like they're not coming back and running well. She's the horse to beat. I just didn't want to pick her at a super short price. So we both ended up with this horse, Lilu, and we'll take a look at her race last time behind Bank on Anna when they knew Bank on Anna was going to win.
They knew.
Why did you take her today?
I feel like I know what happened, why she's been gone for a few months, and I cannot remember what it is.
Oh, that's helpful. Thank you for sharing that.
How bad is that?
Everybody
right?
appreciates that.
But, man, she's been working really, really well down at Keeneland.
Horses work well, Keelan.
Really, really well.
I don't know. I wasn't there. But what I want to know is what went on, because this horse was working, did not work after the last race in New York. This horse's last race was March 6th in New York. And then it was not another work until May 31st at Keeneland. And it does seem odd to ship a horse from New York to Keeneland, switch to Nacho Correas, who is a very good trainer and a friend of mine as well, but it seems odd. It's not like David Duggan did anything wrong with this horse. Now, did this horse end up in Kentucky because there was an issue and they had to ship to Kentucky for the issue, and they started the horse back at Keeneland, and Nacho has her now?
I can't remember what it was. But
will Nacho be saddling her? Will Dave Duggan be saddling her?
I have no idea.
I mean, there seems like an odd situation, right?
I just remember.
Good man.
It got through the fog enough to remember that I needed to pick her.
I think she's
when she ran.
Listen, she's the second choice in the line.
Right.
She's better than Ready AP. I have enough of Ready AP. I guess you've had Ready AP because I read Ortiz and Christophe Clement. It's Is it West Point?
It's West Point.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that was going to get money, but I think Lilu's the better of the two.
I wanted 7s and 8s in here. You got a little bit of a fuzzy with Silverface. I just wanted 7s and 8s.
Well, unfortunately, we could not get the head on of Silver Fist's last race. You might either want to ask Kendrick Carmouche what happened, and he's probably still scared from what happened. I'll give him credit getting back on this filly after what happened last time. She took a left turn out of the gate, and she says the struck rail. I could be wrong, and I'll ask Kendrick, but I think that she, and if he's listening, maybe he'll text me, I think she ducked off the course and hit the rail like,
on
here's
the
turn. She hit it in like the knuckle. She went off the course. And, I mean, there's no reason to show the pan because you never see her.
Right.
She just leaves the screen, and she actually ran a little bit. So she had decent enough form earlier in her career and a massive excuse. So at a big price, I've got to throw her in. I thought about putting her on top just to draw attention to it. But like you, I like Lilu. And I'm not against the 8 either. I just want to highlight this horse as an interesting horse.
Okay. I rounded it out with Ready AP and Gringotts. That goes to show what I feel about the rest of the field. I'll use 7s and 8s. Maybe I'll throw a little 5 in now.
I mean, the 5 may not be good enough, but she did have decent enough 2-year-old form, and she's going to be a price. And she ran after that. I mean, the fact that she was even able to finish
less
was
than 10 lengths.
insane. Yeah, that was pretty crazy. You can't even see it that well on the head-on, but we couldn't get it, so we can't show it to you. But you know what you can do? You can go on your Naira Bets app, and you can watch the head-on because we have the Parks replays where I watched it, where I watch all my replays.
Boom.
And it's where you can get Churchill Downs replays, get European replays. It's where I watched the replay of. Actually, I watched the replay on Naira Bets of the horse in the first race, but that race was actually on YouTube. That's how much people think of the winner of the race.
You can read blogs. You can check out the tickets that'll be up all weekend over at Naira Bets.
It's all good. Naja Thompson's
Wow.
here.
Phil and
this
Naja.
is really special. Is this a special moment for any reason, Naja?
He's got an envelope.
How
in
was
his
the
hand.
hockey game the other day?
Got any cash in there?
Big hockey? Still sore from the hockey game? Is your girlfriend still sore from you leaving her with me in the bar for 3 hours so she had dinner and had to sit with me?
Her brain hurts.
Okay. You think you're sore. Anyhow, head on over to Naira Bets. If you're not a member of Naira Bets, go to NairaBets.com. Use the promo code